All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Window Cleaning Millionaire podcast. Thanks again for listening. I've actually been getting a ton of positive feedback, like nearly every day. Somebody's messaging me, like saying thank you for it or whatever. So it's pretty cool to be able to provide that. I know it's been a little while since a podcast has dropped, so I apologize for that. I know I told you guys I'd be recording 2 per week, and last week I actually didn't record any, but it's because what we're doing is we're planning on moving the podcast over to YouTube. So it's still going to launch on Apple and Spotify and in the normal places, but we're also going to be doing it on YouTube. Reason is we actually wanted video of it like this so that I can be speaking directly into the camera. And then also we wanted to make sure that everybody who wants to listen to it can. Some people don't have Apple or Spotify or whatever, they forget about it. So we want to be able to have access to it on YouTube as well. And then also for my content, it's going to be nice to be able to like pull some videos out of the podcast and post some shorts and reels and things like that. So anyways, that's why it's been a little while. From now on, we should be pretty consistent with dropping the podcast. So what I want to talk about though today is a couple weeks ago, I was at Ron Fellows Performance Driving School. So I drove up there with my dad and my Z06 Corvette. When you buy a new Corvette from Chevy, they actually allow you to go to this 2-day driving school for $1,000. I think it usually costs like $5,000 if you just wanted to like hit up Ron Fellows Performance Driving School and purchase it. But when you buy a new Corvette, you get it for $1,000, which is a great deal. You get a night stay between, and essentially you get to learn how to drive your car on a track, which is just awesome. So it was such a thrill, just ripping around the track with a former Indy 500 driver as my instructor. It was super awesome. So the biggest lesson I learned had nothing to do with horsepower or going fast. So the lead instructor at Ron Fellows Performance Driving School is a guy named Richie Hearn. So he's actually a former Indy 500 driver. I think he participated in like 5 or so Indy 500s. So he's a pretty cool dude. And over, something he kept saying has been on my mind ever since. He kept saying that the key to going fast is your brakes. So the more I thought about it, the more I realized that that's exactly how it works with business too. So I was out there on the track with a bunch of guys thinking the goal was to push the gas as hard as possible in order to get around the track as fast as possible. Over and over, we kept hearing Richie Hearn say, who's got a ton of experience, kept saying the best drivers aren't just fast on the straights, they brake later than the others, they brake harder, and they get through the corners faster. So it's not about speed, it's about control and strategy. So once I started learning this, I was able to cut my lap time down drastically. Felt like I was able to start pushing the car the way that it was supposed to be, and really trusting the car is one thing I had to do. But as I was thinking about these things and learning, it really I learned how I could tie this into business. So most service business owners treat their businesses like a straightaway. So they're pushing hard every day. They're probably out quoting. They're out working the jobs. They're working probably till it's dark. They're trying to answer the phone, but they're missing phone calls, and then they don't have any time left to work on marketing or work on systems. They're not building anything that lasts, and they're probably going to get stuck in that $10,000 to $20,000 per month range and get burnt out. I see it happen all the time. But the ones who scale fast, the ones that are able to actually grow realistically and quickly, like myself, they slow down at the right time. So they hit the brakes to hire, to build systems, to plan their marketing. They hit those brakes and they think like owners, and they stop thinking like operators. So a few of the break zones, I guess you could say, in business are going to be taking time to plan out your week. This is probably my most important thing, is sitting down every week and doing weekly planning so I know what I'm going to be doing with my time. Hiring people before you feel ready. I talk about this all the time, but people, they want to wait to hire until they feel ready. You're never going to feel ready. And then being able to block off time to review your numbers. Maybe it's saying no to a small job so you can focus on bigger opportunities, and actually taking time to make a predictable marketing plan. So it's going to take time. Say right now you're doing door hangers or whatever, you're going to need to set aside a large amount of time in order for that to be successful. So slowing down doesn't necessarily mean that you're losing speed. It means that you're setting yourself up to move faster long term. So in my life, I want to share what this looked like. When I finally started building a team, I started implementing systems, I started stepping out of the field, everything changed. I feel like physically I was way less exhausted, so I was able to actually focus on high level stuff, and it allowed me to grow my business really quickly because I was focused fully on bringing people in, bringing new customers into our business. I actually spent a whole month in Hawaii last summer. I've talked to you guys about this before, and my business kept running, came home with more money than when I left. I now spend my time coaching other business owners, and I coach high school basketball, which is my biggest passion, because I was able to hit the brakes at the right time and build something that could move without me. So if you're sitting there as a $10 to $15 to $20,000 business owner, you feel like you're stuck, you feel like you're going full throttle every day, I want you to ask yourself, where do I need to hit the brakes? What corner do I need to set up better so I can actually fly out of it faster? You're not going to scale by working harder. You're going to scale by slowing down in the right moments, building the right systems, and creating something that works without you. So if you guys need anything, DM me on Instagram. My DMs are always open at Ryan the Window Cleaner. And if you could, please share this with someone who's stuck in hustle mode and remind them that the brakes make you faster. Or if that's you, go ahead and re-listen to this podcast and figure out where you need to hit the brakes so that you can go faster. So that's all I got for you guys today. Take care, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.